Kary Mullis came up with PCR while driving along a mountain road in Northern California. The idea struck him literally on the road, behind the wheel, under the moonlight. This happened in the spring of 1983, and the first successful polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, the English abbreviation, he carried out with his colleague Fred Faluna in the fall or at the end of that same year, making a true breakthrough in molecular biology. PCR improved the amplification technique, allowing even the smallest fragments of DNA to be multiplied and opening up new horizons for genetics, forensics, and medicine. Amazingly, scientific journals at first did not see anything extraordinary in this invention. Publications were rejected, and Mullis himself was soon fired. However, it was precisely thanks to this method that it became possible to detect even single molecules of a virus or bacterium in samples, which led to a revolution in diagnostics. In 1993, Mullis was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for this discovery. With his discovery, Kary Mullis not only provided science with a new tool, he fundamentally changed the way DNA analysis is viewed and influenced the development of all modern biotechnologies. However, there are other moments in his life that are no less remarkable and deserve our attention. The invention of the polymerase chain reaction by Kary Mullis was truly a revolutionary event in the world of science, changing the course of molecular biology and medicine. Just imagine, thanks to PCR, scientists gained the ability to rapidly amplify fragments of DNA. A true miracle of science. This technique opened the door to more accurate diagnosis of infectious diseases and the identification of genetic mutations. It seemed that a new era was already on the threshold. On September 9, 1983, PCR experiments succeeded for the first time, a landmark moment for scientific progress. However, as is often the case with brilliant ideas, recognition did not come immediately. Articles describing PCR were rejected by such authoritative journals as Nature and Science. Despite the significance of the method, Kary Mullis, a man with a bright and unconventional personality, did not give up. This eccentric scientist had long been known as a man whose behavior was as unusual as his approaches to science. His drive to bring new ideas into biology and medicine made him particularly remarkable among his peers. In the next part of our story, we will dive into the tale of a mysterious night when Mullis was struck by this brilliant insight. Kary Mullis, Nobel laureate and revolutionary in the world of molecular biology, was not only a brilliant scientist, but also a true phenomenon of his time. Born in Lenoir, North Carolina, in December 1944, he showed an extraordinary curiosity about the world around him from a young age. After completing his studies at the Georgia Institute of Technology, Mullis moved to California and enrolled at the University of Berkeley. There, his fascination with science transformed into a true passion. While working at Cetus Corporation, Mullis made a discovery that turned modern science upside down. He invented the polymerase chain reaction method. PCR allowed scientists to copy DNA with unprecedented speed and accuracy, sparking a true revolution in diagnostics, genetics, and forensics. In 1993, Kary was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for this invention. His extravagant personality attracted no less attention. Kary Mullis was not a conventional scientist. He combined elements of a poet, a philosopher, and even a surfer, and often drew inspiration from his hobbies. It is said that he could show up to a conference barefoot, discuss complex scientific topics between surfing sessions, and ponder quantum mechanics over a cup of coffee. His refined independence and originality evoked a wide range of emotions, from admiration to indignation. The story of Kary Mullis is not just the story of a scientist. It is the tale of a man who, step by step, challenged the standards. Next, we will reveal another interesting aspect of his life, which will prove that there was something much greater hidden within this individual than one might have assumed at first glance. Kary Mullis, a genius from North Carolina, once spent an afternoon pondering how to improve the accuracy of identifying genetic mutations. That moment changed everything. While he was deep in thought driving his car, he was suddenly struck by inspiration. PCR is a method based on cycles of heating DNA to separate the double helix and then synthesizing new copies using DNA polymerase. The idea was so thrilling that Mullis nearly crashed into a logging truck. It wasn't a mysterious night, but rather a perfectly clear day, yet this moment was undoubtedly an extraordinary revelation for the scientist. September 9, 1983, will forever remain an unforgettable day in science. It was then that Mullis successfully carried out the first PCR experiment. In the laboratory, he placed a mixture of DNA and polymerase into a test tube, using a heating device to control the temperature. This method, based on alternating cycles of heating and cooling, made it possible to multiply the number of DNA copies many times over, opening up incredible opportunities for genetic research. Of course, the idea did not strike like lightning out of nowhere. It was the result of a deep analysis of existing knowledge. But it was Mullis's forward-thinking mindset and his ability to boldly look at problems using old methods that made it possible to create a technology that would soon shake the scientific world. The reaction from his colleagues was immediate and full of admiration. The innovation had a tremendous impact on biology and medicine, earning Mullis the Nobel Prize 10 years later. However, the scientist's character and his unconventional methods immediately became a topic of discussion within the scientific community. So, what did Mullis's contemporaries say about him, and how did his personality influence the way he was perceived in professional circles? Stay with us to learn more. Kary Mullis, a scientific rebel and game changer, left an indelible mark on the minds of his peers. His sudden inspiration for PCR changed science forever. Colleagues remember his passion for heated debates and his ability to question even the most established truths. He not only found common ground in theories that seemed unimaginable at first glance, but also fueled others' ambitions with his enthusiasm. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry did not pass him by. In 1993, he shared this prestigious award with Michael Smith. His meticulous yet boundless dedication to science made him a leader and mentor for many young scientists. Those who worked with him could not help but emphasize his reverence for details and his willingness to go beyond traditional methods. However, not everyone considered his methods ideal. Some criticized him for an overly eccentric approach that confused even experienced colleagues. Nevertheless, even skeptics acknowledged his genius and his contributions to science. Unfortunately, his life came to an end on August 7, 2019, when he left this world at the age of 74. But his legacy lives on and inspires generations. And how does this legacy continue to remain relevant in the world of science, surprising and captivating us? The answer lies just around the corner. Kary Banks Mullis, whose eccentricity only highlighted his brilliant mind, initially faced strong skepticism toward his invention of PCR. The scientific community approached his method with caution, and publishing his work in reputable journals proved to be a difficult task. Reviewers rejected his articles, doubting the novelty and significance of the innovation. Persistently, Kary continued to promote his work. It was only 2 years later, in 1985, that the technology was finally established in science. It was a struggle marked by attempts to publish in the journal Nature, and success came only when the article was accepted by science. Despite the initial rejection, the discovery brought the corporation incredible profits. However, Mullis faced a difficult path. He was fired, receiving only 5 months' salary as compensation. The Nobel Prize he received in 1993 became a well-deserved recognition. Mullis shared it with Michael Smith for bringing revolutionary changes to molecular biology. His attitude toward criticism remained playful and confident. He steadfastly defended his ideas, unafraid to unleash torrents of his unconventional thinking upon established views. Kary was a symbol of scientific research in its free and daring form, relentlessly criticizing conservative approaches. While his bold attitude toward standards astonished the scientific community, his method continued to transform medicine. His eccentric legacy continues to inspire many today, revealing new horizons in science. But in what way did Kary's scientific ideas shock his contemporaries and still continue to amaze people? The veil of mystery is lifted further. Kary Mullis's life outside the laboratory was no less fascinating than his scientific work. It is known that in the late 60s he actively experimented with psychoactive substances. This likely influenced his creative approach to science, expanding the horizons of his imagination. Such experiments led him to reflect on the perception of the world and the potential use of unconventional methods in science. His literary contributions also deserve mention. In 1998, he published an autobiography titled Dancing Naked in the Minefield, where he presented his unique views on life and science, blending a serious perspective with a humorous approach. This book gave readers the opportunity to glimpse his unrestrained thoughts and remarkable boldness. Kary also expressed and supported controversial theories. He was known for his skepticism toward widely accepted scientific dogmas, including climate change and the link between HIV and AIDS. This not only sparked a storm of criticism, but also genuine interest in his personality, demonstrating his willingness to defend his independence of thought. While his scientific achievements and controversial worldviews continued to inspire and provoke, the fresh thought of how something so extraordinary influences his life and perspectives remains astonishing. Kary died on August 7, 2019, in Newport Beach from complications of pneumonia, leaving behind the legacy of a thinker and bold innovator whose vivid mark on science and personal life will continue to make us reflect on the ways in which it is possible to change the world. Kary Mullis, who achieved worldwide recognition as the inventor of the polymerase chain reaction, PCR, deservedly received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1993. However, it was his skeptical stance regarding the connection between HIV and AIDS that made him an extremely controversial figure in scientific circles. He believed that true breakthroughs are only possible outside the boundaries of tradition. Every statement he made was a challenge to the established order, teaching us to look at science differently, to seek inspiration in unexpected places, and not to be afraid to think otherwise. This approach continues to inspire to this day, reminding us that creativity and courage can change the world. Although his approach to science might have seemed eccentric, it was not reckless. Under Mullis's guidance, unconventional thinking was accompanied by perseverance and rigorous scientific analysis. His critical view of many widely accepted ideas, as well as his skeptical approach to certain medical theories, sparked lively debates, earning him a reputation as a scientific rebel. His books were not a collection of fanciful hypotheses, but rather an explanation and justification of his challenging journey in the world of science. Although some of his views, such as his skepticism regarding the link between HIV and AIDS, remained controversial and drew a wave of criticism, they vividly highlighted his drive to see things differently and his fearlessness in going against the current. All of this makes his legacy not just an example of scientific success, but a true awakening for those who seek inspiration beyond tradition. Mullis has left this world, but his influence lives on, encouraging his contemporaries to seek out and discover new paths in exploring the world around us. PCR has become the foundation for diagnosing genetic diseases and studying infections, and its implementation has led to the development of personalized medicine and genomics, becoming an integral part of modern laboratories. The polymerase chain reaction was perfected up until 1985, and since then scientists have been able to amplify DNA at incredible speeds, which has made it possible to detect gene mutations and infectious agents with unprecedented accuracy. All of this has opened up the possibility for the creation of personalized therapies and new approaches in biotechnology. Kary Mullis, known for his groundbreaking method of the polymerase chain reaction, forever changed molecular biology. He was born on December 28, 1944, in the city of Lenoir, North Carolina, and left this world on August 7, 2019, in Newport Beach, California. The development of PCR, which took place in September 1983, resulted in science obtaining instant results in the field of molecular diagnostics, steering it in an entirely new direction. Among other things, his extraordinary personality attracted as much attention as his scientific achievements. He was not afraid to express his controversial and sometimes eccentric opinions, which went beyond the boundaries of traditional scientific discussions. Mullis was interested in topics such as cosmology and parapsychology, which only emphasized his unconventional approach to understanding the world. Mullis's main legacy is, of course, PCR, a method that revolutionized molecular biology, opening up countless opportunities for a deeper understanding of genetics and the creation of new technologies. This discovery quickly gained recognition and became the foundation for numerous studies due to its uniqueness and effectiveness. There are many lessons we can learn from the story of Kary Mullis. These are lessons in perseverance despite skepticism and the challenges of fate, as well as lessons in how creativity and openness to new ideas can transform the scientific landscape. His example inspires modern generations of scientists not to be afraid to step outside conventional boundaries and to seek inspiration in a diversity of opinions and approaches. And just as new generations continue to build upon his discoveries, so too is there always room for new myths and legends for those who seek inspiration in his example.